So welcome to Norton Down, the home of Midsomer Norton Rugby Club, for today's Somerset Premier League game between top of the table Chew Valley, the visitors, and the home side, of course, our very own Midsomer Norton Rugby. My name's Ian Knockholds. I'm the presenter of the Summer Valley Sports Show, and I'm delighted to be joined today in the pouring rain here up at Norton Down by Andy Jeffrey. Good evening, good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, Ian.
Now, of course, you're with us for several reasons, one of them being that you're a former player up here, aren't you, at Norton Down?
A long time ago, and they've had an old players' lunch here today, so I've seen a lot of old colleagues and friends that I used to know in the club, and they're all looking so young nowadays, they really are.
We're also delighted to be joined by Alan Trinder, who is known to many people from his role, obviously, on Glastonbury FM, and also his commentaries at the Rec for Bath Hospital Radio as well. So, hello, Alan. Nice to join us on such a beautiful Somerset day.
It's absolutely wonderful to be here, and a huge crowd, which is great. You know, it's a hell of a day. Conditions are horrible. It's driving wind and rain and all the rest of it, but it's a great crowd. And it's a mouth-watering clash, first and second, top of the league. Wonderful.
Certainly is. Now, we've got a line out to Midsomer Norton, very deep in the true half. Midsomer Norton have made a very good start to this game, and there's been an infringement by the looks of things. I think we're trying to keep the wind away from the microphone because otherwise it's going to make today's broadcast pretty tricky. But it looks like Chew Valley have benefited from a penalty there at the line out from Midsomer, from Norton, and they're going to clear their lines. Just so you know, Norton are playing from left to right in this first half in their red and white, well, claret and white striped shirts, black shorts, and their opponents Chew Valley today playing from right to left in this first half in their green and white striped hooped, I suppose, is the official way of calling these rugby shirts. That Chew have got they've got a throw in a line out, that came from the penalty. They're over on the right hand side of the pitch, and they've claimed that ball. They're just trying to work it into a more central position, and they've done that. They're now working their way up to the halfway line, but they've taken it into contact now. They've got it away quickly now. They're trying to break down that right wing. A little chip through now. Chew running onto it, but it's going to be picked up by the Norton fullback. I assume he's taken it into three players, but they're trying to play it out here, run it down the left wing, Midsomer Norton, but they've kept it in play. I did think it may have gone out there, and we will bring you the team lineups when there's a break in play, but Norton are going forward now. That's the number 8 who I can see's got it there. I don't know if Andy's got his dry copy of the team sheet to hand, but we'll start bringing you some of these players' names as soon as we can. It's pretty tricky stuff.
Yeah. I would say it was a lovely offload by Ben Taylor at the fullback just now. That enabled Norton to gain another 20 yards on Chew. So doing really well at the moment. Over to you, Ian.
Well, actually, the action's just in front of us now, down here on Norton's right flank, but they're they're around about 10 metres outside of their 22, and we've seen an infringement there, and it's an offside infringement. So it's offside infringement on the 10-yard line, just inside. Well, it's as Chew Valley are attacking, it's on their left-hand side, and the Chew Valley kicker now is shaping up to put this into touch for an attacking line-out, which will be inside the Midsomer Norton 22. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for us to run you through the sides, because obviously there's going to be we're expecting some attacking here. Norton are going to have some defending to do. They are taking a while to get the ball back.
I have to say, there is a very strong wind blowing across the Norton Down today, and that's going to create major difficulties for the kickers here. So kicking at goal, that normally would have been a Chew Valley kick at goal on the Norton 10-yard line, and they didn't even consider taking a pot at it because of the awful conditions. So they've now they're well inside Norton's 22, and Chew Valley are threatening to score here.
Chew Valley are getting a second bite of the cherry at this line out. Referee saw something he didn't like it the first time it was taken, but they get a second bite of the cherry. This time it's sailed long. They weren't able to claim it. Midsomer Norton were getting in to try and take it, but Chew have managed to cling on to it. They're now inside in a more central position inside the Norton 22, trying to work it over to the right-hand side. They've done that, but Norton are defending furiously. But now Chew going over to the right, tight to the right wing. But again, Norton doing well to keep them at bay. But they're about midway into the 22, so struggling to break this Norton last line of defence. But, well, I say they are. And actually, Norton have managed to get the ball away. They came a quick tap penalty, and he's chipped it down to the other end of the pitch. So Norton paying a bit of possession football rugby there and managing to get the ball out in play. So have you been impressed with what you've seen so far, Alan?
Yeah, I think both sides making a good fist of it. As you were both saying, it's extreme conditions here, and Norton were under the cosh for a few minutes. A lot of pressure by Chew. Good decision by the scrum half, I think. Quick tap penalties, gained 60 metres, put them in an attacking position. So good result for Midsomer Norton so far.
And it's can you see who's got the line out over there, Andy?
I think it's a Norton line out. Yes.
Norton line out deep now into that's probably just on the 22.
Chew have stolen it. So.
Oh, have they? We think Chew have stolen it as a proper. That's a maul, isn't it? I think to use some official terminology there from the football commentator, doing ever so well.
Halfway into the Chew 22. Now they're just about on the 22 line for a line out to Norton. Which is a good attacking position to have, and with Norton's backs, I can see this flying out to the wing and maybe a try on the cards here.
Well, that's optimistic. I mean, but particularly in these conditions, because I mean, actually, already a lot of the players are very dirty. We've only been going a couple of minutes, and the ball's going to be like a bar of soap in these conditions. I mean, the pitch is already starting to cut up. Anyway, Norton have got to go push on here. They've taken that line out, and they're driving forward now. Chew Valley trying to break the momentum. Norton's still got it in the forwards. I think it's a day for the forwards when the weather's like this, but they're over on that left-hand side. It's trundling forward, trundling towards the Chew line. Things seems to have got a bit sticky now, so they're coming into a more central part of the pitch, but Norton have got a proper drive on. I think they're going to try and drive it over the line here as they've come into a central position, but now I think Chew may have turned things around there, and the linesman... Have you seen the infringement there, Andy?
Well, I think it was probably a Chew player offside coming round or holding onto it on the ground, and the referee quite rightly has awarded a penalty to Norton. And this is only about 10 metres from the try line. So we're going to have a kick at goal with this. And do we know who the kicker of choice is up here? That's a good question.
I think we will do when he turns round, is the answer to that. Looks like it might be a bit easier kicking from that position than this, Alan.
Well, it's difficult to judge. It is a strong crosswind, I think, and very difficult for place kickers. But I guess if you're down in the 22, you're not too far away, you should have a pot of goal. If you can get points every time you go down there, then that's going to make a significant difference. And the line-out was a great example of a driving maul from that. They took it right up into the 22, and then I think it was Chew who pulled that rolling maul down, and that's what gave away the penalty.
Because it did look like Norton were trundling forward, didn't it?
Yeah, and some occasions referees are giving yellow cards because it's in the red zone. It's right close to the try line, but probably difficult to identify who did it. But penalty kick here to Midsomer Norton.
Anyway, hushed tones here at Norton Down as Norton line up to take this kick over on the left hand side. It's well struck, and it's in. Yeah, we have first points of the day. Midsomer Norton lead here at Norton Down, 3-0. Did either of you catch the number of the player who slotted that one over?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. But an interesting thought on today's game that Chew had a high-scoring team. I think they scored something like 40 points per game. These conditions are going to really test their ability to score tries. And if Norton can keep doing that, then they're going to keep chipping away and maybe build up a decent lead.
So it's going to be Chew who get us back underway, and now is probably a good time to start to run you through today's team. So, actually, Andy? Can you run us through the Midsomer Norton side?
Okay, at number 15 fullback we have Taylor. Number 14 on the left wing we have Miller. Jack Riles at number 13, who's outside centre. Alex Mitchell at number 12, is inside centre. Verdon at number 11 is on the right wing. Penny at number 10. He's back from injury now and he's playing his full match. Ben Moon, number 9, scrum half. Then the forwards, we've got the front row of Glass, Backhurst and Jenner. Gimson and Massey at the second row. And then the back row, Sawkins, Denning and Parker. So quite a powerful team. It's probably the best team that Norton could put out, bar Rob Fuller, who's injured at the moment.
Thanks, Andy. Alan, as the play's stuck in the middle of the pitch at the moment, Alan will run you through the Chew Valley side.
Okay, this is the Chew Valley lineup. At fullback, it's Brian. Two wings are Todd, number 14, and Cox, 11. And the centre partnership is McCormack and Shawcross. And the half-back partnership is Gatton at number 10 and Cameron, number 9. The front row is Keel, Davis and Eves, 1, 2 and 3 respectively. And in the second row, Light and Chase. And the back row is made up of Waddington at number 6. Quoy is open side flanker at 7. And Jeffries is number 8.
So plays remained in the middle of the pitch during those minutes. I think it would be fair to say, Alan, that today's going to be one for the forwards, isn't it?
Oh, it's got to be. That's why I made a comment earlier on about Chew Valley scoring so many points, so many tries. Have they got the forward power to go with that? We'll soon see in the course of this game. And that penalty that came from Midsomer Norton, of course, that was through a driving maul. If you can keep it tight, keep it amongst the forwards, and then just let it go when you're ready to do it, then I think you're gonna score some points. And if you can keep the play down in the opposition half, it's going to be very difficult to break away from that. So, it's going to be a forward-dominated game, and maybe Andy's better positioned to say this, whether or not Norton have got that forward power.
Yeah, I mean, before the match, we were talking about it in the bar. And the wet conditions definitely favour Norton, because Norton definitely have a more powerful pack. The pitch isn't as heavy as Chew Valley's, and so I think actually the balance is with Norton. But of course, the season so far would favour Chew Valley because they've won twice so far against Norton. So it could be anyone's game today.
But the interesting thing of both those encounters, I think, when you look at the results, I think there's about 14 points between the two teams over 2 games. So that's not a lot in rugby terms. So, they've got to take some heart from this Midsomer Norton. And I know there's not so much quite resting on this game for them in one sense, but if they can push Chew, put some pressure on now in these early stages, they're going to ask a few questions of the Chew Valley team, I think.
You'd certainly expect Midsomer Norton to be making the most of home advantage, and of course they have got a cup defeat at the hands of Chew only a week or so ago to avenge here. Andy, can you run us through some of the background to this fixture in where these two clubs find themselves this season in the league?
Yeah. Well, Chew Valley are undoubtedly the leaders. They've only lost 2 or 3 games this season, and so they are ahead by 8 points of Midsomer Norton in second position. Now, the first place team gets automatically promoted. The second place team has to have a playoff against a Gloucester team. In this case, it's Frampton Cotterell. And, sorry, I'm just looking at the match here. Norton are under a bit of pressure, but Taylor's made a good clearance, and it's now back into the Chew backs in the middle of the field. But so what Norton have to do today is win by more than 7 points or more, which will give them 5 points, 4 points for a win plus 1 point as a bonus point, and hope that Chew Valley don't get 4 tries, because Chew Valley won't then get a point. So it'll be a 5-0 points win. And then in the next match, hope that Chew Valley lose and Norton win. And that will give Norton enough points to be able to overtake them for the top of the division.
Thanks for that, Andy. And Norton have got some more defending to do here. A free kick. Did you see what the infringement was for, Alan? No, we may have missed that one. I was going to congratulate Gimson on a stonking tackle where he took the man and the ball off the pitch. I thought Norton were going to get the line out, but they didn't. Anyway, there was an infringement there. Now Chew throw the ball in down on this left-hand side, only about 5 metre line, I'd say, and Chew have got another foul, and I think they've gone over for the first try of the game there. It was a bit of quick thinking. I think that was. Can we see what the number is on the back of that player's shirt? Because he was a bit of. He looks built like a second row, doesn't he? He bears a remarkable resemblance to Thomas Waldrom for Leicester fans who may be listening. But anyway, he's a big lad, it'd be fair to say.